Hello and welcome to the Sunday School classroom. Today's Bible lesson is entitled, God's People Were Taken Captive. Before we get started, let's do a little something fun. We're going to do a little marching, so stand up and we're going to march in place, or you can march around. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. March. March, march, march. Good marching. Keep going. March, march, march. Okay, you can sit back down. It's time for our Bible lesson. Israel had bad king after bad king. The kings were doing evil things and worshiping fake gods. They were causing God's people to also do bad and evil things. Well, God had warned the people through prophets, but they didn't listen. Now it was time to be punished. Let's read what 2 Chronicles 36 verse 15 says. It says, "And the Lord God of their fathers sent warnings to them by his messengers, rising up early and sending them because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place." So prophet after prophet, God's messengers told the people that they were doing wrong and that they were going to be punished if they didn't turn around and start doing right things again and following after God, the one true and only God, and not the fake gods that they had set up. Well, they didn't listen, and it was time for punishment to come. So the army started marching toward Jerusalem. They marched, 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 marched. God sent the army to attack. The army marched in. They broke down the wall of Jerusalem. They burned the house of God. They burned all its palaces with fire and destroyed all its precious possessions. And those who escaped from the sword were carried away to Babylon, where they became servants to the king and his sons. But even in their punishment, God still loved the people, and he was with them. And it wouldn't be this way forever. He promised that at the end of this time of punishment, 70 years after that time had passed, that they would return. And that's just what happened, because God always keeps his promises. One of God's promises is that he will never leave us. So you can be sure that that promise was not only for the Israelite people, it's for you today. For a craft activity that goes along with our story, you can make a God's Promises box. All you'll need is just an empty Kleenex or tissue box. And you can write your own cards or print out the cards. The link will be below. You're going to cut these out. And you're going to add them into your promise box. Here's my promises box. You can decorate the box if you want to, but my Kleenex box was already pretty, so I'm just going to leave it like this. Let's read some of the promises of God. God promises Jesus will come back. God will help us. God will never leave us. God will forgive when we ask. And God hears our prayers. So make your own promise box, and don't forget to take these out every now and then and remind yourself of the promises of God. Even though the Israelites had to be punished, they were doing wrong, God still was with them. He still loved them. And he told them that one day, after 70 years had passed, that they would get to come back to their beautiful homeland. They would rebuild that broken wall and their temple and their homes, and they would live there once again. God promises never to leave us. Even when they were in Babylon, God was with them, and he had mercy and compassion or love for them. I hope you'll join me next time for our online Sunday school. Have a great week. Goodbye.